Jack says, as an accountant, how much of a threat is AI to me? So large language models are not very good at mathematics. They are language models. However, they can call on mathematical tools to do the actual calculations for them. So they don't do the maths themselves. So just plugging accountancy questions into ChatGPT, like giving it data, won't work very well because accountancy requires not, you don't want to be creative with the numbers. Like by definition, a creative accountant gets in a lot of trouble. The way that large language models and generative AI work is stochastic. It is probability based, which means, and this is why when you put in the same question multiple times in ChatGPT, it's going to give you different answers. That's no good in accountancy because you don't want multiple answers. That said, there are AIs being developed which have a lower temperature, so basically a lower creativity, for want of a better word, which can perform these tasks very well. I would say that for any profession, so this is legal profession, this is medical profession to a certain extent, accountancy, etc. Any profession like this, what's most at risk are the lower levels. So I talked yesterday, I think it was, about KPMG and a number of the large advisory firms, the big four, are having reductions in their graduate programs because they need less people coming in because they are training people on AI and getting more work done with a smaller number of people and investing that money into AI instead. And same with Microsoft, they just dropped 9,000 jobs and at the same time invested, I think 60 or 80 billion into AI servers. So this is what is happening at a lot of large companies. So the risk is for lower level employees, it's going to be hard to, one, get positions because there are less positions opening up. Two, to train with people. There's an interesting, I also talked about this the other day. There are less opportunities to train within an organization because more people are working from home. So you can't shadow people anymore, or it's harder to shadow people. So AI is filling those gaps in terms of tutoring, in terms of replacing jobs. So at low levels, if you're studying or you've just entered an industry like accountancy or legal work, it's risky and it's going to be rough for the next few years. If, however, you are a senior and retirement is in sight, you're probably going to be fine because industries are relatively slow moving, especially protected industries like the law industry and any industry that has certification and qualifications. There's also the fact that if you are a lawyer or an accountant, there is legal responsibility. So when you prepare somebody's tax returns or you prepare a case for them or take them on or you're a lawyer and you write a contract for somebody, what that person is doing by hiring your professional services is pushing the buck to you. So you become legally responsible. AIs cannot at the moment. So that is another reason why some professions will be protected, because we still need somebody, a human being at the end, who is liable, whether it's an accountant or a lawyer that we have hired. So this will slow it down a bit. But I think all of us, regardless of our jobs, need to think about how this is going to impact us. We don't know, and anyone who says that they know which way it's going is probably BSing. What I would say is, regardless of where you are, it's a good idea to have multiple options open. So if your only income and the only cash that you use for your house and your family and living comes from a job, that's one source of income. So if we were building a chair or a stool, you wouldn't do that with one leg because that's very imbalanced. So it's a good idea to be looking at how can we flesh out our income streams? How can we get other sources of income coming in? There are many different ways to do this. Starting a business, starting to consult, advisory, teaching people about artificial intelligence is a good one right now. But basically setting up other ways to make cash so that if our salary, our 9-to-5 job, does come under risk or it gets removed from us, we have options. I think that's the only thing that we can do that is proactively useful, because we don't necessarily know where we're going and we don't know the timelines either.